had to pay for everything for John.
At the beginning,
but you
I
owe
did.
him $70,000?
Wait, no, I don't understand. Why does Shannon owe money?
A facelift and a loan.
We know you've been coached, Alexis. Like, I can't.
Do you want receipts? Because I'll prove.
Wait,
I'll pull it up.
Because he's given them all to you.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And I hope this recording goes better than Gina's dinner because Evan, that was a whole mess.
That was a whole mess. I really think she was trying to have a kumbaya moment, but then it was just a web of conflict. Even the seating chart, they couldn't figure out.
Can you help me move my chair? Yeah. It's across from Katie, and I can't do that. And I don't want to sit next to Gina. Let's put Alexis here. Come here, you sit here.
I love when someone tells me where to sit.
Sit here in between me and Emma.
Emmers?
Yeah. Is that okay, Gina?
Because they were trying to explain who wasn't getting along, but I'm still confused. Like, my head is spinning.
I think the girls are also confused with who can't talk to who. And I think, well, first it was tricky to even get in the place because, like, that little bookshelf. Gina picked a cute place. That looked fun.
It was really cute. I also loved her outfit. I know a lot of people come for Gina's style, but I did really love the silver jacket.
The silver jacket was really good. And I think she needed that with the new confessional look that people are not.
We needed a bit of redemption because while I think the hair is fun and I like that Gina takes risks, I don't think the Bravo fans love the current. I don't know. How would you describe it? What do you think it's giving?
And you know, I love my Taurus who drinks sugar-free Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's bringing the Long Island out of her.
Oh, but okay.
But she's Long Island.
That's
kind of
fun.
It gives like Teresa Caputo.
It does give Teresa a little bit. There is
she's a TV icon.
Right. But there's also a part of me that thinks, because so much is said about her looks, her hair, her fashion, her tracks, like, is she just trolling us with this look? Like, I feel like she might be trolling us with this look. Gina, if you're watching, please let me know if you're trolling us with this look.
I would love that. And also, if you didn't think you were, you can say you were now. She's like, got you all. Speaking of trolling.
Which one? Which
Trolls 2. Justin Timberlake's writing a song about it. Maybe a song about a DUI. You never know.
Oh, actually, that'd be great.
He really could be writing a song about OC. And I think he would stick up for Shannon because Alexis Bellino came for her.
We know you've been coached, Alexis. Like, I can't.
Do you want receipts? Because I'll prove. I'll pull it up.
Because he's given them all to you.
I have the wire transfers right here. If anyone would like to see this, it's right here.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she came hard. She came with her receipts ready. I don't think Shannon ever saw them because she departed the table as quickly as she could. But Alexis showed them to, who did she share them with?
Emily and Gina.
It's a receipt.
Was it a gift or a loan?
Wait, what's
They were loans. One is the facelift, and the other one is just because Shannon needed money, and he was generous enough to give her the money.
Okay, and I feel like Emily and Gina are our girls because if it was us at the table, we would be like, show us the receipts. Like,
and I love that Gina was like, it's an actual receipt.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We love that.
Because the whole thing is between $65,000 and $75,000 on the table.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets confusing to me. Because if it was for a facelift, which you're saying, to me, a facelift's not a loan, that's a gift.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess so. I mean, Shannon says that there was no paperwork. So that's where it gets murky because you don't, it's kind of just like a handshake or like you don't really know what. I mean, the thing is, if it was a loan, if John Janssen was letting her borrow the money for a facelift, I would have hoped that he would have protected himself by conjuring up some sort of contract and having her sign it. But now it gets tough and messy and tricky, and Alexis is ready to talk about it.
And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot more. And if she wants to go toe to toe, I'm ready.
Which
she was born ready to talk about it. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, it did make me laugh when Tamra's like, when you break up, you give the ring back. How do you give a facelift back?
No. Normally, when you break up, you have to give like a ring back or something. How the is she gonna give her face back?
And I mean, we all know Shannon looks so good.
She does look really good. And I feel like who was talking about? Emily and Heather were talking about how good she looked.
Emily and I were talking about it, and Katie and Jen were even like, I didn't even know she had a facelift.
She should go to rehab and not drink at all.
She does look better, though.
She looks amazing.
She looks really good.
Yeah, if it cost $65 or $70, whatever it cost, it was well worth it. And if it was her money, his money, whatever, like it went to for a good cause.
How do you feel? Because Heather told even because Heather and Alexis are friends.
Yeah.
And Heather even was like, "You're coming on a little hot."
I personally and maybe you don't agree, and that's okay, maybe taking it down so that perhaps you become friends with Shannon.
Do you feel she should turn the heat down a little bit? Is it at a perfect temperature? What's happening?
I think it's a tough thing because she was gone for so long. And now that she's back in the group, I think that there's sort of an underlying excitement to be back in front of the camera. I also feel like there is pressure to perform and make sure that her castmates and producers and Bravo and Andy and all the powers that be feel good about bringing her back. And maybe she thinks this is the best way to reclaim an orange if that's what she wants. Do you feel like her performance so far is landing for you?
Well, it did make me LOL. And Alexis, when she was like, I'm just trying to be her friend.
I want to get to know her and like her for her.
I know that honestly, that was so iconic when she was like, no, I just want to know her for the real her. And then she has like all these receipts and all the girls are like, okay, you cannot do that.
You can't say that and bring receipts at the same time.
Yes, I can. You can. If you're gonna lie about my guy.
This is not like, you can't have it your way. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what are we doing here?
I think if I were to go inside Alexis's mind in that moment, I think her thought process was, I'm willing to have a friendship or begin some sort of relationship with Shannon if she is willing to accept the fact that John Janssen paid for her facelift and she owes him. Like, that's her truth. So she just wants Shannon to accept that, but that's not Shannon's truth. So they're never going to be able to have a friendship.
Is it her truth or is it John? Because a lot of people are saying, why are you going so hot for Johnny?
Right, because then there was the accusation from Shannon that Alexis was being coached by John ahead of time, which, I don't know, that's kind of like a tricky thing. Like, obviously they had conversations before she went to the dinner. Obviously she's hearing all about Shannon from John, and then all the women have heard about John from Shannon. So I don't know. No one really knows what to think because everyone's like, I think everyone has sort of been given a distorted version of truth.
You know what's kind of interesting? I'm like, how did Tamra know before Alexis told her that John was like saying Shannon owed money? I'm like, do you think Alexis coached Tamra with some tax before they had to sit down at the dinner at the house?
I mean, possibly. Look, I think every woman on this cast is a professional.
They are.
And they're really here to work and they've clocked in. And I think that there's a lot of preparation. I think everyone's trying to prepare themselves for either a great season, which I appreciate.
One of the better seasons of OC.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing season. But yeah, I think this season in particular, like, the girls have put in a lot of prep work. Actually, I will say the one who I think is sort of just like flying by the seat of her pants, for the most part, just from what I've seen, and I think it's really working out for her because there is so much fan support, is Shannon Beador. I feel like she's just like living in the moment, letting it happen to her. And I feel like for the most, I mean, I know the dinner with Gina was like really tough. She like left and waited for Jen Pedranti to come save her.
For Jen to come, and then Shannon goes, I'm upset no one came out for me.
It really hurts my feelings that nobody came out to see if I was okay, you know?
It must have been a long stall because I feel like Jen Pedranti wanted to see the receipts too. Like, we didn't see it, but I bet you she took a little peek. You know,
Not the receipt.
yeah. Wait, I think she got the Prada sunglasses from Emily. Did you see that in the beginning when Emily won the Prada sunglasses from the golf tournament, and then they were like, we should give those to Jen. So that's everyone's looking out for Jen. Maybe not Shannon in the moment of Gina's dinner, but I do think, for the most part, even though no one came out to check on her in that moment, except for Jen, I think that she has a lot of allies on the cast.
Especially Katie, because I love that Alexis, when she sat down, she's like, heard you had a golf outing.
Yeah, I know. And then Alexis, she was upset because I think she said she lives on a golf course. Like, why wasn't I there? I think she feels like she's gifted at golf. And I don't think there was ever, like, she and Katie were fine. And I think they are I think they're okay. I think that
they
they're
were at
friends.
Diamonds or no?
Maybe they weren't. I'm not sure. Actually, we need to check on the status of Katie and Alexis's friendship. I think they've made headway since the golfing snub.
Okay, that's good at least. Because I was also kind of curious, where I feel maybe Katie, because like also like her husband was there and it was her first big thing. She's like, I don't want too much drama, or maybe she's like, I already know what the drama's gonna be.
and it's going to be about the paparazzi and Heather. And that whole thing is still going. But I honestly, more interesting than Heather calling the paparazzi, whether she did or not, to see how it's impacting her friendship with Gina, I think has been really interesting. And I don't know, it's kind of tough because I feel like I understand both sides of the situation. Do you feel more team one or the other?
I don't get why Heather's so mad at Gina, because it's not really Gina's. I don't really get why she thinks it's Gina's fault. I think she's mad that Gina didn't
like nip it in the bud,
but like it's not Gina's garden.
What's upsetting to me is, why didn't you tell me in December?
I thought it was in the best interest of everybody to let that go and to never bring that up. And that was the decision that I made.
I wish you had said something.
Yeah, no, I know. I f***ed up. I f***ed up. I f***ed up and I'm sorry. Okay?
Yeah.
Happens. Everybody f***s up.
Right. I think this is what I think. I might be confused because I feel like this story is a bit confusing because it's like where and when did it start? But I think that from what we've heard and seen, Katie mentioned this to Gina off camera before filming commenced.
When did she tell you all this?
A couple months ago.
Like before Sutton's Christmas party?
Before something, yeah.
And Gina was like, do not do that. Don't mess with it.
Disturb.
You don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then Katie, I think when cameras got up, she was like, well, this could be kind of fun. And then I think that pissed Gina off. And Gina, because she had told Katie not to bring it up, she was like, if you don't say it, I will. Which I think in the coming up episode.
Well, Gina only said that to Katie because Katie told all the other ladies.
That's what I'm saying. It got too far gone. And so it's like this thing of, okay, because I think Tamra in the next episode, it seems like she accuses Gina of sort of setting Katie up, like encouraged her to talk about it. But Gina encouraged her not to talk about it. And then she talked about it. And then she said, okay, well, now that it's out there, now it's a thing on camera. If you don't mention it to Heather, I'm going to, because like for whatever reason, Gina's a very, very ride or die for Heather at the moment. I mean, yeah, like they're very close.
You have to understand, I'm very close with Heather. I'm not gonna jeopardize my own friendships because of the choices that you make.
And she's clearly very protective of her. So I don't know. I think that Katie, actually, now that I'm talking out loud, thinking out loud.
Okay, Sharon.
I guess I kind of understand why Gina's pissed.
Oh, I get why Gina's pissed at Katie.
Yeah. But then I also felt very bad for Katie being so hurt, feeling deserted by Gina, because that's who brought her into the group. Like that's how she was introduced.
Well, it's almost
into the
like
group. Like I brought you into the group. Why didn't you listen to me?
It seems like you're fine to defend on yourself.
Yeah.
You're sitting down with Shannon. You're having a fun time.
That's true.
So and like the cry, like I was like, it seemed like, because like brought him to the group, like Gina was like, I knew this girl for 5 months. Like I don't know why Katie was so upset.
This.
Yeah,
oh my God,
it did not
Katie,
feel good.
I did not mean to. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It was sweet to see how Gina was affected by Katie's tears. She was like, wait, are you okay? Like,
Gina's like, shit.
Yeah.
Gina's like, Gina's that sound. You know what it never was? That's serious. Like, oh, I didn't know about this.
But did you notice that Gina was going hard once again with a pastry in front of her face?
I know, but not like touching it.
I know.
I want these pastries.
Take a bite next time, Gina.
Those cupcakes were dry, so I could see why they weren't eating it.
It looked like a cute place, but it looked like everything was like fake.
Yeah. Not that good. I know. So I don't really. I feel like Katie's now kind of in a weird flux position where she's like, "Oh no, I stepped in it."
Yeah.
Heather's not someone to let something go. And I love, because especially when Jen Prudential was like, "I like Katie." Heather's like, "Oh, I'm not telling you not to be her friend. I'm telling you this is her character. Align where you see fit."
I liked her.
I am not telling you not to be friends with this girl.
And
I mean, I will say she's showing her character. So you should make your decision on your friendship with her for yourself, but that is something to know.
Which to me feels worse than I'm not telling her to not be your friend.
Yeah. Do you think it's kind of interesting that I kind of forget how Noella and Shannon interacted, but I remember Noella and Heather not interacting very well at all. It kind of seems like, and Shannon used to be the girl who never liked the new girl. Shannon very much likes Katie this time. Like this time the new girl isn't getting hazed by Shannon. Normally she does. It feels like the hazing baton has now been handed to Heather.
I feel, because it's like when someone tries to come for Heather, she gets very annoyed, which is, I guess, rightfully fair. And she doesn't let things... Well, because Shannon even said, do you agree that Heather's the most sensitive?
Do you know what? I think that's a side of Heather that as viewers, we don't see a lot of it. I think it might be different for the actual cast. I think Heather's a very sweet soul and I love her as a mom and I think she's a great mom and I would like, please adopt me. But I don't know if I've ever seen like a super, super sensitive side of her. Do you catch that?
No.
Not saying she doesn't have that side. I'm just saying I don't know if that's like left on the cutting room floor.
But it's funny because I used to always think like, oh, she lets the show like, she like can dust it off very easily.
Yeah.
But maybe she can't. But that's why it's so funny where I'm like, even when she was talking to Terry about this, it's not that deep.
Like she was having a little laugh about it with Terry.
Terry's like, I would love to call the paparazzi.
I like when paparazzi takes pictures of me.
I know you do.
I like it. So if there's a number that Katie knows of to call to get paparazzi who will take pictures of me, I want this number.
Right. Which there was a part of me that was like, okay, wait, did they plan that? Because I was like, honestly, that was the perfect way to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, haha, LOL, they're so cute. I do think they're so cute. I think Terry's so cute. I have such a crush on Dr. Terry. I honestly, I love Heather and Terry, but I'm kind of inclined to think that she didn't call him paparazzi and that I don't know. But I thought that scene was adorable and it was a good way to sort of like put it to rest.
Or what if the big LOLs, he called it on.
Oh, maybe.
Heather.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
she's like, Paul. Terry's like, Paul, can you call? We're going to Craig's. Can you call for us? Better call Paul.
If that's the case, I do love that.
I would love that. What else that I loved is that we had a little Vicki moment. We had the Trace Amigas back.
Yes. Wait, and that was so interesting to me because like this was obviously after the breakup, but we got some interactions between Vicki and Tamra. At the end when Vicki was storming out, telling everybody to be a good Christian, Tamra says, "I love you."
You guys just tone it down on how mean you are.
I love
you. Good night.
What?
And then when Tamra went up to Vicki, it was never about you.
I told you from day one, it wasn't you why I backed out of Tracy Megas. It wasn't you. It was her.
It's about Shannon. And Vicki's like, she needs support right now.
I was like, so it felt like a reconciliation between Tamra and Vicki, like, but she just, or like there was reconciliation on the horizon. The fact that they could speak this close to each other, I was just shocked after the vitriol that we had seen on social media just before then. Like that whole thing about the traitors, like that's perfect for her. Like and that wasn't even like the worst of it. I don't know if you remember, but like they were like throwing and exchanging some like nasty jabs online. So the fact that they could even have a conversation like that, standing nose to nose.
That's true.
I was like really, really absolutely shocked.
And I mean, it is like when Housewives becomes like a dark comedy when Vicki was like, you can have a drink.
I know.
We're not driving. You can have a drink. And Shannon under her breath like, I know, I can. Like Shannon didn't want attention to her Belvedere, even though they zoomed right in on her for ordering it.
I know.
But Vicki announcing it to everybody. I don't know if Shannon loved, but
I know. What did you think of the way Tamra was so expressly expressing herself about, she accused Shannon of having a drinking problem. She said she needs to go to rehab. She like used the word alcoholic. I mean, it was very jarring language.
You can drink. You can have a drink. You're not driving.
I'm aware. I am.
Oh yeah, an alcoholic should drink. Yeah.
And
I think Tamra has to know that's not the right delivery to get that point across.
I think that's, why Tamra does make for a great housewife is because she shares her opinion and it's always a heated take from Miss Tam Tam. But yeah, I would love to know if she has any regrets about the way she handled her dialogue with Shannon that night. But when we talked to her, she still believes that Shannon needed to go to rehab. So
she was nicer about it to us. But maybe just because Shannon wasn't in the room or on the Zoom.
But in Shannon's defense, in Tamra's defense, she isn't the only one who has shared that opinion. Yeah. Emily has shared that in the premiere episode, and then she even said it again last night in the room. And she's been like a Shannon ally. She was like, but she still thinks like, hey, I think she should go to rehab and not drink. But I don't know. The thing is, like, everyone's relationship with alcohol is like so personal, and to talk about someone's alleged alcoholism and whether they should go to rehab or not feels like so icky.
I know. Well, it is an interesting thing where Emily is really defending Shannon, telling Tamra, like, she changed. She like whispered the stuff to Heather but like Emily has been on the show for a minute, so she knows it got picked up, where she was like, I think she should stop drinking and go to rehab. And then that was when Heather went, she looks great.
Oh, Heather, like Heather was very aware, and she knew to say something sweet and nice about Shannon, because she and Shannon have been through their ups and downs, and I think it's just probably an easier situation to stay up with Shannon than down with Shannon.
Well, I feel also Heather she's like, I'm not gonna she's like, I don't know how to comment on any of that. Like her and Jen are just saying, it looks great.
Yeah, right.
Lovely gowns, lovely face.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you look great, like typically how you look on the outside is a reflection of how you're feeling
before your first drink, as Tamra said.
Every freaking day that I wake up, I think about what happened.
Is that after you have a drink?
That's the thing, Tamra. Like, she's like she can't help herself.
She can't help herself, and I honestly, like, she makes for such a great TV. Her delivery of that line was amazing. It was really good. It was so quick. It was so fast, and it's just she's such a natural at this.
I know, she really is. But I feel I can see why her and Shannon are just never going to be back in alignment.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's too far gone?
Damn, I'm surprised. I think there are ladies who love forgiveness. I kind of think it might be a little too far gone, because Shannon hates that narrative in that conversation. So, I think so.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, this time it's pretty dark, but I feel like the Tres Amigas, all three of them in different ways and situations, two over here, one over here, like they have gotten back from
Church
a lot.
Could put them together. Who knows?
They are all women of faith according to Vicki. So
I love that. Like some of the ladies looked up like, "Are you playing it?" Like Gina was like,
Gina looked a little confused.
And Katie's like,
okay, women of faith. What does that really mean?
Where are we going with this?
I will say we just talked to Emily Simpson. We told her she was a confessional queen, and once again delivered in a confessional when they were talking about Vicki being this Christian woman, preacher, Gunvalson, whatever it was happening in that moment, giving her little sermon. She was like, "Okay, Miss Christian woman, roll the tape."
And it was some gold moments that we even forgot about.
No, I know when Vicki was like gutturally shouting "slut" at someone. I don't know. I don't remember who she was calling us. Like, who was this? Who was this slut?
Maybe that's what Taylor Swift sang about.
Yeah.
If they call me a slut, better be worth it for once.
That was Taylor's inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. I think there's going to be more Vicki to come, because we've seen in previews Teddy shows up for something and she's shading the hell out of Vicki. She's like, it's like great to be with all the housewives and Vicki. So,
and you know that hits a nerve, because Alexis even hit a nerve with Vicki with "Welcome to My World."
Oh my God, I know. Do you know what? That was a little full circle for her, and I'm glad that she had that moment, because I mean, Alexis is a friend of, but Vicki's like the friend of a friend of a friend of,
she's
right?
The phone friend. She's on like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when Shannon's like, "Can you come help me?" Like it's like, and you got like one of those games. So we'll see what happens.
But I am glad that Shannon has her. I'm never mad at Vicki making an appearance. Like it's
one of the most haunting from last week when they were like singing on Zoom, "Just the two," like their tour manager just disassociating. It's beautiful. It's captivating.
It is.
I know. So I guess next week we'll see more about this lawsuit and some Gina shit.
I know. I'm excited to see how the lawsuit plays out, because I don't even know if we know what's happening in real time, like whatever happened.
Yeah, I didn't even know what was happening.
So yeah, I wonder if it was ever wrapped up.
But it is good. Like if you give someone a facelift and it's a loan, get that in writing.
Get it. Yes, a lesson learned, or don't get it in writing. Oh yeah,
if you're getting the facelift, don't get it in writing. But if you're giving the money, get it in writing, and then just go from there.
I know. I need to find a man to pay for some procedures for me. So
Orange County.
Johnny J. You're my next call.